Greetings and welcome to another Pokemon video. In this video I want to talk about Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. More specifically, I want to talk about the latest trailer for these new games. Said trailer, which is called the Competitive Play trailer, was released today at the time of recording this video, and it revealed a new Pokemon, several new moves, several new items, and it confirmed the return of several old Pokemon. While it is a short trailer which did not reveal too much, what it did reveal is exciting enough to warrant a discussion, so let's get to it. First up, I want to go over the old Pokemon that appear in this trailer. Their appearance in this trailer confirms their return. So the old Pokemon that were confirmed are Lilligant and by extension Petilil, Tyranitar and by extension Larvitar and Pupitar, Cloyster and by extension Shelder, Colossal and by extension Rolycoly and Carkol, Breloom and by extension Shroomish, and finally Blissey and by extension Chansey and Happiny. So yeah, because the trailer was short, they did not confirm that many old Pokemon, especially not when compared to previous trailers. But at least they did confirm a few, and several good ones at that. I am definitely happy to see that the Tyranitar, Cloyster, Breloom, and Blissey will return. Moving on, the trailer revealed a new Pokemon, Cyclizar, which is a dragon and normal type Pokemon. I think that Cyclizar looks very cool, and the first thing that came to mind when I saw it is that it looks like Koraidon and Miraidon. Cyclizar has a wheel on its torso, just like Koraidon, and its general appearance resembles Miraidon. So I immediately thought that perhaps Cyclizar can evolve into Koraidon or Miraidon. Or maybe, since Scarlet and Violet have a past and a future theme respectively, Koraidon is Cyclizar in the past and Miraidon is Cyclizar in the future. This would be very cool. If Cyclizar is indeed related to Koraidon and Miraidon, then it is also worth noting that Cyclizar's typing does hint at the typing of Koraidon and Miraidon. Cyclizar is dragon and normal type, so I think that it's safe to say that Koraidon and Miraidon are both dragon type Pokemon, which makes sense, and it is what I predicted in a previous video on Scarlet and Violet. Now the normal type is sometimes like a blank canvas, meaning that it can be painted with any color, meaning that it can be replaced by any other type. So Cyclizar is likely normal type because it essentially has a blank spot that is open for the secondary type that it will get when it evolves or when it transforms into its past or future self. So Koraidon and Miraidon's secondary type is still up for speculation. Finally, I do want to point out that Cyclizar's name is likely a combination of cycling or cycle and lizard. Given that it has a wheel on its torso, that it has cycling or cycle in its name, and that it is the mount Pokemon, it's safe to say that Cyclizar will also be rideable like Koraidon and Miraidon. I imagine that we will get Cyclizar at the start of our journey, or at least very early on. And it will then become Koraidon or Miraidon at some point. Now all of this is of course assuming that Cyclizar is indeed related to Koraidon and Miraidon. I love that the main legendary Pokemon will have so much relevance this time around. So, moving on, they do show the effect that Terastal can have on battles. They show Colossal, who terastalizes into water, and it is then seen being hit with Hydro Pump, which would normally be really bad for Colossal since it has a double weakness to water. But since it changed to water type, it now has a resistance to water, and so it takes the Hydro Pump no problem. And it even gets to activate its ability, Steam Engine, with less of a sacrifice than normal. They then show Tyranitar terastalizing into Ghost, and it is then seen being attacked with close combat. which would normally be really bad for Tyranitar since it has a double weakness to fighting. But since it changed to Ghost type, it is now immune to fighting, and so close combat is no longer a problem. Tyranitar then goes a step further by using a new move that is revealed in this trailer, Tera Blast, which changes type when the user terastallizes. Since Tyranitar terastallized into Ghost, Tera Blast is a Ghost type move, and so it is super effective on Gallade. Tera Blast ensures that a Pokemon will always have a stab move to use even after terastallizing. Additionally, it was also revealed, though not in the trailer, that the Tera Blast will use either attack or special attack to deal its damage. It will use whichever one is higher for the user, meaning that Tera Blast will always be a useful tool regardless of Tera type and of who uses the move. I already knew how impactful Terastal will be in battle, and I said as much in my previous video on Scarlet and Violet. But actually seeing its effects like this really drives home just how different battles will be in Generation 9. Battles will definitely be a lot more dynamic and interesting. I absolutely cannot wait to take part in said battles. So, moving on, they did reveal one other new move besides Tera Blast. They revealed Shed Tail, which creates a substitute and it then swaps the user with another Pokemon in the party. So this is basically substitute plus Baton Pass, which is just crazy. This means that you can have a setup sweeper that needs a substitute to set up with ease, forgo substitute in favor of another damaging move, since you can have another Pokemon set the substitute for them. The sweeper will then be more effective since they have an extra damaging move they can use and they don't have to cut down their HP to use substitute, which is great since many sweepers are frail. The Pokemon that uses Shed Tail can be a more resilient Pokemon who can more easily afford to lose HP. You can even take this a step further by having a Pokemon with Regenerator as its ability be the one that uses Shed Tail, since they can recover what they lose after using Substitute instantly. And since the HP of a substitute is a percentage of the HP of the user, if a Pokemon with high HP uses Shed Tail, the Pokemon that is swapped in could end up with a substitute that is stronger than a substitute made by them. Also, if the Pokemon that uses Shed Tail is slower than the opponent, they can safely bring in the other Pokemon, who will have a full substitute at their disposal. So yeah, Shed Tail will definitely be insanely powerful and, like Terastal, it will have a huge impact on battles, namely on competitive battles, and it will be interesting to see all the different strategies that people will come up with to utilize Shed Tail. Also, Pokemon that can learn the move will be highly coveted. I do wonder though if perhaps this move is exclusive to Cyclizar, since it is the one that uses it in the trailer. It's possible, I guess, especially since Cyclizar has Shed Skin as its ability. But would such a crazy and tactical move really be limited to just one Pokemon? Perhaps, especially since this would make Cyclizar even more special. Finally, the trailer also revealed two new items, Mirror Herb and Loaded Dice. Mirror Herb allows the holder to copy the stat increases of an opponent. Said Titan is seen using this move to maximize its attack after the opposing Azumarill uses Belly Drum. It goes without saying that this item will be very powerful, since you can punish your opponent for using stat boosting moves, since your Pokemon also gets stronger when their Pokemon gets stronger. Or you can use their own strategy against them, or you can make your own strategy better by having your Pokemon get a bigger boost. Say that both Pokemon use Swords Dance. Yours will have the benefit of using Swords Dance twice in one use. You could also forego the use of a stat boosting move in order to have room for another damaging or status move, and you can instead rely on your opponent to give you a stat boost. Though this would require that you predict which Pokemon might use a stat boosting move. In any case, this item will be a game changer for sure. Moving on to Loaded Dice, this item makes multi-strike moves more likely to hit more times, and they show Breloom using Bullet Seed to hit Blissey 4 times. Given that Breloom can have Technician as its ability, Breloom plus Loaded Dice plus Bullet Seed is a deadly combo. Now Loaded Dice is certainly cool and I could see it being pretty good on certain Pokemon like Breloom. But this item is not as strong or as tactical as Mirror Herb, and it is nowhere near as much of a game changer as everything else that was revealed in this trailer. It is also worth noting that Loaded Dice is useless on Pokemon that have Skill Link as their ability. I do want to mention as well that while it was not shown in this trailer, there is another new item that was revealed, Covert Cloak, which protects the holder from the additional effects of moves. Meaning that if the holder is hit with a move that has any additional effect, like say inflicting a status effect, the holder will be unaffected by said extra effect. This should be useful in certain situations, but I think that it is the least useful of the 3 new items. But that's everything I have for you in this video. I really did not expect to get another trailer for Scarlet and Violet so soon, which is why this trailer was quite a surprise, though I did know that more information was going to be revealed soon. I just did not know when. While this trailer was not as long or as information rich as the previous ones, it was still nonetheless a nice trailer, and what it revealed was very exciting, and I am now looking forward to Scarlet and Violet even more. Now before I let you go, I do want to say that I did make a video on the second trailer for Scarlet and Violet, and I also made a video on the Welcome to the Paldea region trailer. I will leave the links to both of these videos in the description below and at the end of this video so that you can go watch them as well if you haven't already. Also, do let me know what you think of all the new information in the comments section down below. But that's the video. As always, leave your own thoughts down in the comments below. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did and would like to see more like it, then please consider subscribing to my channel. I love Pokemon and I love making videos on both the anime and the games. Also, please consider clicking the links on screen so that you can check out more videos like this right away. Thank you very much for watching, and let's meet again in the next video.